On this cold winter day, I feel like it's just really nice to be able to sit inside and listen to a really good story. And wouldn't you know it, I'm a writer and I have a story. Here's an excerpt.
Beautiful beginnings. Our heroine loved the beach. She liked the salty sea spray in the air and the feeling of the shifting sand beneath her feet. It reminded her that nothing in life was ever steady. Nothing in life would ever remain unchanged. Her prints in the sand would go on for miles as she wandered the edge of the water. Right in the muck, but far enough away that the waves didn't wipe away the proof of her presence too soon. She wanted others to know that she was here. She wanted them to feel the weight of her existence. She would walk in what some might call a trance, a daze, if you will, daydreaming. She didn't like her real life very much, and so she had built herself a future out of fantasies and hopes. Wants so fierce within her, you would think that her heart pumps from this life force instead of blood. But she simply had too many secrets held close to her chest, ones she held onto as fiercely as her dreams. Perhaps she held so tightly due to the truth of the darkness that resided in her. Our heroine tried not to think about it. In fact, she forced herself not to think about it so much that this skill came as easily to her as breathing. In comes the unwanted thought. Exhale. Out it goes. Into whatever hole she had dug into the far outpost of her mind. The perfect place to bury her secrets. For who would love her if they knew the truth? At this moment, the waves beckoned to her and she rushed to meet them. It was unusually quiet on the beach today. Only a few families splashing in the water and couples cuddling on vibrant picnic blankets, whispering to each other of their lives together, and even with the few souls on the sandy shore, she could feel the love reverberating through the air. She liked how it billowed around her skirts and kissed her with a gentle breeze. She made her way towards the water. While she didn't like being submerged into its depths, she didn't mind dipping a toe or two beneath the waves, reminding her that another world existed under the sea. She sat with her back to the people, in isolation, her face tilted towards the sky, the sun hidden behind one of the few wispy clouds in the air, winking away just for the moment. She didn't mind the sand getting on her clothes. She didn't mind the quick bite of cold that the water demanded when she put her toes into it. She didn't mind much of anything at all, because this was home for her. True home. There were only 3 hours until sunset. She did the best she could with the time she had left before making her way back to the little blue house situated at the edge of town. I would tell you what she thought about during that time, listening to the waves and letting her mind wander, but I think that this is one thing that she would mind. So I will protect her secrets. For now. When the sun began to dip beneath the horizon, she headed back the way she came. Some of her previous footsteps still remained as proof of life in the sand, others having been washed away by the voracious waves. Just as dusk began to make way for the stars, she found herself before the wooden door that led into her place of residence. She reached towards the small bag hanging off her shoulder and found her keys within the mess of little items she had collected over the years. An assortment of trinkets, seashells, and crumbled pieces of paper that acted as time capsules of her journey. Turning the knob, she stepped inside, willing the part of herself that lived within imagination to go and hide. It was not welcome in this particular establishment. Immediately, she felt as though the very heavens were pressing down on her, a burden having been set on her shoulders as it does every moment she spends in this place. A face popped its head out of the kitchen. "Khadi," he called with irritation. "Where have you been?" "I'm sorry," our heroine, Khadi, answered. "I meant to get here quicker, but time got away from me." She cast her eyes downward. She didn't want to see the wrath of her older brother, but she could feel the way his lips twisted in contempt as his disappointment radiated off into the air. A thought flitted through her brain, making her wonder when she will be free from this.